Be the person you want everyone else to be. Let me read that again. Be the person you want everyone else to be. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Wes. Thank you all again for being here. And that's what I want to talk to y'all about for just a few minutes here today. That quote, be the person you want everybody else to be. And that's Shawn Ryan who said that. He was on someone's podcast. I can't remember who he was talking with whenever I heard him say that quote the other day. But y'all know who Shawn Ryan is. He's this guy. He's a former Navy SEAL, and he's got this huge podcast and everything. But like I said, I was watching him on someone else's podcast the other day, and he said, it might have been Tucker Carlson, I'm not sure, but Shawn Ryan said, be the person you want everybody else to be. And that just really kind of resonated with me. And I wanted to talk about that for just a few minutes here today and see if any of y'all can relate to that. Be the person you want everybody else to be. Just think about that, y'all. So many of us, we meddle, we try to get in other people's business. We get in other people's lane. And people get in our lane as a result, Have you ever had somebody who just thinks they know what's best for you, and they're trying to make you do this thing or that thing, and you know what's best for yourself, and it doesn't feel too wonderful to have someone thinking they know what's best and getting all up in your business and all up in your lane. Well, it doesn't feel good whenever people do that to us. That's why we shouldn't do that to them. And there's people like that who just constantly are in other people's business. And I've known so many people like that throughout my life. And Lord, I've been guilty. I've been guilty of gossiping and listening whenever others are gossiping and whatnot, and trying to get in other people's lane and in other people's business, and we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. I've actually learned the hard way multiple times in the past, thinking that I knew what was best for some of my loved ones and whatnot, and trying to set certain individuals that I cared for up for what I believed was a path for success, but it wasn't their path, okay? It wasn't my decision. It wasn't my place to decide what these individuals' paths should be. Even though, they're important people in my life and I care for them or whatever, it's still on them. It's on them to decide what's going to be best for their lives. And like I said, in doing that, you can tell, anything that you manifest that doesn't have Christ at the center, it may manifest, but it's going to be as rotten fruit. And like I said, I have made that mistake previously by trying to get in other people's business. We really think that we're doing the right thing. We think that we're, our intentions are whole and pure. We can see that, oh, well, if this person would just do this thing and then that thing, then their life would be so much better. Well, the thing of it is, y'all, there's things about this person that you don't know, okay? Though you may think that you know everything there is to know about whoever the person is that you're trying to dictate how their life should be, there's things that you don't know. There's things that you haven't shared with them. You don't know what God's will is for them, okay? Just like I didn't know what God's will was for the individuals in the past that I've tried to guide the way that I thought their life should be, and it kind of blew up in my face, okay? So I've learned my lesson from that, thankfully. It's been a long, hard road, but we're still pressing forward. But again, when Shawn Ryan said that the other day, be the person that you want everybody else to be, it just kind of resonated with me, because it's like if we would all do that. And again, I'm guilty. I'm just as guilty as anyone else. And I'm trying my level best to learn from my mistakes on that and to not do it anymore. But you see everybody every single day. Do y'all know anybody like that? Are you like that? Are you the person? Are you the one who gets in everybody's lane all the time and tries to dictate what this person or that person should be doing with their lives and so on? Well, if you are, you might want to take a look within, okay? And I think that's a big part of the problem. I think that's why so many people do that, why so many people get in other people's lanes and try to dictate how their lives should be, because it's a whole lot easier to look at somebody else from the outside and pick it apart. Whereas actually looking within yourself and taking accountability and responsibility for your life in its entirety, well, that's not so easy. That's a lot more difficult. And that's what Christ is calling us all to do, okay? So stay in your own lane, people. Be the person that you want everybody else to be. If you want one of your loved ones to do this, that, and the other, well, maybe you should just go do this, that, and the other and leave them to their own devices, okay? Everybody's on their own path. It's not on us to decide and dictate what the people in our lives should be doing, okay? Let them make those decisions. That's on them. That's their free will. That's between them and God. So I encourage everyone, instead of getting in other people's lanes and trying to dictate what their lives should be like, be what do that to yourself, okay? Again, be the person that you want everybody else to be, like Shawn Ryan says, okay? Turn the mirror inwards, look at yourself, okay? And determine, what is it that I want? What is it that I'm lacking? What is it that I can provide that I haven't been providing to my loved ones? How can I support the people that I love, that I'm trying to control their life, in essence? How can I support them along their journey rather than trying to dictate what they should and shouldn't be doing? How can I do that, okay? So ask yourselves all these questions, okay? This is a reflection, okay? Everything is kind of a reflection, so we need to reflect within ourselves on this, okay? And ask yourself, am I one of the people who gets in other people's lanes and who tries to get in their business and is a gossip queen and this, that, and the other, or a gossip king, or whatever you want to call it? And just be honest with yourself, y'all. Honesty is so important. And that reminds me of Philippians 4:8, where it says, whatsoever is honest and true and just and pure and lovely and of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. Again, that's a paraphrasing of Philippians 4:8. So we only want to think on the lovely and the good, y'all, and it's so important to be honest and truthful with ourselves as well, okay? Because if we can't be honest and truthful with ourselves, then do you really think that the truth and honesty and justice is going to find us? No. What's going to find us is what's inside of us, okay? So if lies and running and hiding is what we do, is what's inside of us, and that's what's going to manifest itself in our life, okay? So again, be the person that you want everybody else to be. Stop trying to dictate what others should do, and turn the mirror on yourself and take a good hard look inward and determine, what do you need to be doing? You know, what are the steps that you could take to improve your life in one way or another? And leave the other person to their devices, like I said, okay? All right, everyone, I just want to come on here for this quick, short message here, and I hope that someone got something out of this. So like I said, just remember, be the person you want everybody else to be. Turn the mirror on yourself. Look within. Leave those folks alone. Stay out of their lane and let them do their thing, okay? All right, thanks again, everyone, for being here, and I pray that everyone's doing well. We'll talk to y'all again soon. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.